You are now listening to Krossfire with Shan and Junsen. Alright, so the thing is, the topic we're going to be talking about today is about Uber. And what the dictionary say about Uber is actually it denotes an outstanding or supreme example of a particular kind of person or thing. But technically, we're not talking about that today. We're more focusing on taxis, private car, or what they call it, ride share. And are they actually better than the taxis, actually? So let's just start off with Shan.
You want me to compare Uber with taxi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both have 4 wheels.
Both have 4 wheels. One has better Well, okay. Be serious. No, I feel that Uber is going to take over the taxi business because, like you get on the Uber, the drivers are much more friendlier. Taxi drivers are a bit one kind. Weird. Why are you staring at me?
But that's not true though for all. I think some Malaysian taxi drivers are quite
because I'm like a stereotypical
nice.
Naveen?
Well, I feel the Uber will not be able to take over in Malaysia because there's just too much control in our situation right now.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Just recently, they have a demonstration in with the SPAD.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they wanted the Syed Hamid Alba to actually step down, and they
Yeah.
were like demonstrating and all those things. So before that, how about Kelvin? What's your experience with taxi or Uber?
For me, it's just staring in the taxi. When you stare at the meter, it goes up. I think it's faster than a horse race.
Every time it tings, their heart also ting.
Yeah.
It's faster than pouring
Yeah,
petrol.
every time the meter goes up, my wallet feels lighter. At least with Uber, right, they have this estimation, or sometimes you just pay via credit card
Uh-huh.
and then done. You
Done.
walk out and then you're like, hey, I'm here. Huzzah!
In a way, it's like cashless transaction. Yeah.
That's and a lot of the times maybe I don't have small change or what. Every time it's like you can see them just asking, bang, kau tak ada small change ke or something like that. So it's like I have to fumble around. That was once. I think that I arrived at my grandparents' house, and then it's the fact that they don't have a change. So I had to just tell the guy, I will not con you. Just let me run out and see my grandmother and just grab some change from her.
That's what I did last time when I was young.
Oh.
I said, send me home. I reached my house. I ran into my house. And I said, Uncle, you wait. I go home and take money. I think in that sense, taxi, is better. In that sense. But I actually went to Singapore recently, and my uncle was I was asking him, what do you think about the whole Uber and taxi situation? And he said that Uber will not thrive in Singapore because Singapore's taxi service is way better than Uber. But I said in Malaysia it's like the total opposite because from what I see, they said some of my friends actually shared pictures. They said actually when you go into the car, they actually ask you, do you want a drink? I mean, it's a little bit creepy, like you're like, okay, taking drinks from strangers, but they say you want Smarties. It's like they actually serve you really well.
Wow, so what, they have like a tray of Smarties ready for you?
Yeah. It's like really like going to like some kind of first class flight or something like that. No?
Yeah, I had a situation where I was inside and then they asked me, they started talking about, he just started talking about music.
Oh.
Then after he figured out what kind of music I like and he started playing that. I was like, because he had an MP3 list, what?
Okay.
He was filling his MP3 list while he was listening to what I like. Then after he just like started playing that lah.
Okay.
I was like, impressive.
Yeah, and it's like what you said. Just recently, I was at Singapore as well.
Yeah.
So we take the Uber from the airport to the hotel. So in that way, the Uber driver told me that they are actually not making a lot of money compared to the taxi drivers because it seems like in Singapore there is this peak hours.
Yeah.
Like during peak hour, you pay 25% more, and after midnight you pay 50% more if I'm not wrong. So because of that, they were saying that is the only time that Uber can thrive. But most of the time it's after midnight.
Yeah.
So they spend the whole afternoon just sleeping
Before
they work.
If you actually go to Singapore, you see by 11:30 you won't see any taxi on the road.
Oh.
Then we'll be waiting for the what you call it, the midnight price, the 50% rise.
Yeah, but that happens here as well. But then, like, personally, I've not used Uber. But my main concern is, like, anyone can drive an Uber. So I don't know how thorough a background check is. And you don't know what your intentions are. I mean, recently there was this incident in India.
Yeah.
So there was an Uber driver, and he actually drove a lady away, and then she was raped. So it's like, this can happen anywhere. Like, I mean, if you're planning to rob somebody or you're trying to assault someone, then I guess Uber kind of opens up more doors.
Okay.
Like I don't. Yeah. So I mean, I've not tried it. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I read about it that when it comes to Uber, right, it seems that they are not that thorough in their background checks compared to their competitors.
Yeah.
What we have here is like there's GrabCar and Uber. As in, I think the one thriving in Malaysia, I think there's Easy Taxi as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the one about GrabCar is that it seems that they really take care of their drivers. It's
Mhm.
like like sometimes you can see SPAD trying to arrest someone or what. So if the GrabCar driver feels that maybe this the person requesting for a ride might be a SPAT officer, so
Mhm.
they will just call. They can call up, and there's actually a call center that will just tell you, okay, we run a background check on this person who registered. This guy is safe, or this guy is not. Try to avoid these roads. So I think when it comes to background checks, I feel that GrabCar drivers, I think they get the better benefit compared to Uber.
Mhm.
Okay.
The only thing the Uber driver told me in the interview was they had to have good English.
Oh, is it?
That's why a lot of
They
taxi
actually
drivers
have
had
to go for training,
problems.
yeah.
So what?
Transferring
Someone
over.
actually does an English check on them, is it?
They have to go for English test
Oh, okay.
because they get a lot of expat drivers.
Yep.
So they don't want the guy to pick up some expat guy and then after the English is really bad, then they'll have a bad feedback.
Yeah.
Because Uber is all about feedback. They always keep getting ratings. They say rate my performance, everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they always try to perform at their utmost. lah.
Oh.
Yeah, what I heard is that they actually have to go for a certain kind of training
Mm.
before they become an Uber driver. It's not that you just register like you want to open an email account. That's it. They actually you have to go for a certain amount of training, and if not mistaken, if you're using your own car, your car must be less than 5-year-old or something.
Yeah, you have
like that.
to have
There's a lot
Yeah.
of requirements.
And
But
there's a minimum requirement of the
Mhm.
engine and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I heard
But the
that.
person requirement is quite little, right? It's just age and then the
Language.
having a valid driver's license and all that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And also they have to do a background check on how many accidents you've been in
yeah.
and how many
But-
accidents the car has been in.
Yeah, but
I
the
think-
plus side is I think that like Uber, it like for those who are looking for an extra income, I guess it's a good thing for them, like to supplement whatever their basic salary is.
Yeah, even the Uber driver I used, he said even lawyers are like driving Uber cabs
Oh,
on the
okay.
down low.
They are. I mean, my wife just took an Uber ride that day, and the guy actually runs a trading business, and he drives if not mistaken, a Harrier or something like that. She was shocked when the car came. Stopped at my house, and my mom was like, "Hey, your wife's friend is here." I'm like, "That's not her friend. that's a Uber or a taxi."
Okay.
Then she asked the guy, and the guy was saying, like, my job, I mean, my company is basically stable. I got nothing to do during the day, and I always drive around finding for friends and all those things. Might as well earn some income. And for him, it's not about the money. It's just to pass his time. And what he said was he managed to meet quite a number of interesting people along the way, which maybe one or two may actually benefit him in terms of his business.
Yep.
So I was like, wow, it's really interesting because if you look at it,
He's
they are-
networking.
Yeah, I mean, Uber drivers, I'm not promoting Uber because I haven't tried one yet before, so I can't say anything. I'm just listening from what everyone else say.
Okay.
Uber drivers, some of them, like what Pabrin was saying just now, they are earning an extra income. There are some people that I notice that when they do it, is like when I'm getting home from work, say for example KLCC back to Shah Alam,
Okay.
and what I do is when I finish work, I just switch on my app, and I just pick up someone that's going the same direction as me. So
Yeah.
imagine going home, I get paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something like that share, right? Or something like that, right?
Yeah, ride share,
Ride
or
share or
Grab
something.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, GrabCar is something like that whereby you can do it part time, you can do it full time. The thing is that there's incentives when it comes to GrabCar.
Mhm.
So one of my friends is a GrabCar driver.
Mhm.
So they have this bonus week. Let's say during peak hours, if you get 30 rides, you get this much incentive. 45 rides, you get this much incentive. 60 rides, and you get this much. And the same goes for off peak. So technically, they have two incentive. So
Mhm.
if they manage to fulfill that criteria, they get extra. Like if I'm not wrong, the most you can get if you during the peak hours, you can get around like 1,008 if you get 60 rides in 1 week. So some of them they are just chasing for that. The
Mhm.
moment they hit it, they're like, we are good to go.
Junsern, coming back to your statement earlier about the Uber, you want to
Yeah.
share the ride and go somewhere. Once you turn on the app, you actually the driver actually has to oblige and go wherever the passenger
Yes,
wants
yes,
to.
Yep.
correct.
You cannot turn it down. If not, you're going to get like low ratings and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So
Or even fired actually.
yeah.
Because the thing is, like for example, my wife, she will send me a link from the phone, And I said, okay, this is my Uber driver. So then I just click the link. Everything is out, even including the GPS, where they are and all those things. So in that sense, I think it's interesting. But for me, I feel that the taxi drivers, those that was demonstrating and saying that Uber is stealing their their income, I feel that they themselves should improve themselves.
I have the greatest idea for a short film,
Which is?
the Uber driver. He wants to hit that last one to get 60. He's got 59. He wants to get 60, and he picks up like this woman in all white, and she's forced to drive this woman into the graveyard, and deeper, and he can't reject it because the ghost is threatening to give him a low rating.
Yeah, and it will be titled what? The Last Ride.
So what?
That's actually a good suggestion for a movie.
I know, because he can't turn it down. You know, like how you see horror movies, the person is like walking into the basement, and you're like, "Don't go into the basement." This one, he has to go there.
You should email Aaron Sorkin for this, lah.
I don't think sorry. I should email M. Night Shyamalan because there's a twist.
It was just a really sick lady.
Yes.
You did that? Oh, it's actually he's 58, not 59.
Ding,
There
ding,
you go.
ding.
There you go. Got our twist right there.
But what do you all think will be the solution? I mean, when it comes to this Uber situation with taxi, what do you think will be the solution for this in Malaysia, especially?
I honestly think it's just follow the meter. Simple as that. I've seen so many cases where they say, and I mean, recently it's like 21 second, and for every 21 second it goes up by 10 cent or something like that. But that doesn't happen. I've counted myself, and it's like, every 10 to 11 second it goes up by 10 cents. So I don't know why they had to temper the meter so much.
I know what's going on there.
That's because the guy is going faster. He's covering more distance.
No,
maybe. I don't know.
the machines are faulty. The more distance you go, it's measuring in distance and time.
Yeah.
Whichever comes first
Yeah.
will interject. So that's why it's rising so fast.
But isn't it one or the other?
It's both going concurrently,
both,
and both are whoever gets there first is going to increase it, and then it doesn't reset. So it just piles and piles and piles and piles and piles and piles like that.
So complicated, actually.
No, it's for them to earn more money. What? It's a scam.
Yeah.
No, but the problem with the taxi drivers nowadays, look at them. They're all behaving like gangsters.
Yeah, that I have to agree.
Yeah, they're like apprehending these Uber drivers and vandalizing their cars and
Yeah.
real gangsters. And it shows that you don't want to travel in these kind of cars. Seriously.
If not mistaken, the day I was reading this article, I can't remember which minister he was saying that taxi drivers shouldn't react like that, but instead they should take that time for them to to demonstrate, to throw tantrum or whatever, to use that time to think of how they can improve their services.
Yeah.
Because he was saying there's a reason why Uber is thriving in Malaysia. It's because perhaps maybe their services are not that good. So they said, why don't you take that time, improve yourself lah? Correct or not? I mean, there is something that, I mean, I wouldn't say that the taxi is not good at all also. There are, like you said, some of the taxi drivers that are really good. Some of them, they actually, like I remember one time he actually waited very long for me because I need to go down and send something. He said, no worries, I'll wait. But there are a few bad eggs, I would say, that caused this whole taxi thing to go south, I feel.
But the taxi drivers also do pick up some really dodgy people.
Yes.
Because I've heard one taxi driver tell me that this guy asked him to drive him to a lake and wait there.
Oh.
And he's waiting there for 15 minutes, and this guy is not Malaysian, he's from Africa. He's waiting by the lake for like 15 minutes. Then the taxi driver was like, I think this is a drug deal going on. So he just left the guy at the lake and ran off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's true if Malaysian taxi drivers actually like up their game, then they'll be doing really well. They wouldn't have to worry about any of these other app taxis coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, so like, I don't know, just out of curiosity, has anyone actually come across a female Uber driver?
Yeah.
Is there a lot out there?
I don't know. I can't tell myself.
I've only had one female taxi driver in my life.
My wife came across, I think, 2.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But she takes Uber a lot, so
Oh, okay.
it's a whole
Do
different
they
thing.
charge by different types of cars as well? Like
Yes,
that you
yes.
drive?
I think
Some,
they have a different category.
Uber Black,
Yeah,
Oh,
Uber
okay.
Black. There's a normal.
Uber Limo or something else.
Yeah.
Uber X.
Uber X,
Ah.
that's the limo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uber X. I think Uber Black and
Not the limo, that's the luxury car, right?
I'm not too sure. I think Uber Black should be the luxury car.
Yes.
Uber X should be the affordable ones.
yeah.
Ah,
I think the
okay.
Uber X is the one that you use your own car. Some of them. The black one is you have to rent the car from Uber itself.
Some countries have like Ferraris and Porsches.
For
I think
Uber.
they did a Tesla. What? I mean, one of the countries actually had a Tesla car as an Uber.
The Malaysia one, they did something like not a prank. The guy actually drives the McLaren, the sports car.
Yeah.
But he registered as a Myvi. It was it was a social experiment. It was something to reward the people. I think he was driving around Bangsa area, if not mistaken.
Oh, really?
So when he stopped his car, then the lady actually called up and said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm here." And she's like, "Oh my god!" Then you look at the video. They went berserk. The guy was like, "Oh, I literally came in my pants." That was interesting. It was a very
Yeah.
interesting social experiment that they did, lah.
Wow.
Interesting.
It'll be nice if someone comes and pick me up in that.
Do you know what a
Hint,
McLaren is? in the
Yes.
first place?
It's a sports car.
I think you should rent a car, lah. Ferrari or something.
Yep.
And then come pick me up.
I'll be requesting non-stop as if I know a McLaren is coming in
Yeah.
front of my
Yeah.
house every day, man.
Then you probably ask for all the Myvis and hoping that one McLaren shows up.
Tune in every Friday to catch Shan and Junsen on Krossfire, only on Junsern and Shan.